So this is the JBL Partybox 720, and this is the Sony ULT Tower 10. Now, both of these speakers are very impressive, but there are key differences. Now, when it comes to speaker setup, the 720 has a dual front firing woofers with an exhaust port that shoots out the back, and dual front firing tweeters. Whereas with the Sony ULT Tower 10, this speaker has a front firing woofer with a front firing exhaust port, dual front firing mid-range drivers, and a total of 4 tweeters, 2 that shoot out the front and 2 that shoot out the back. Now, thanks to the additional mid-range drivers and quad tweeters, the Sony does sound more open and it has better instrument separation than the 720. Also, the bass on the Sony is much smoother, whereas the bass on the 720 is a lot more violent. Also, the Tower 10 does get a little louder than the 720. However, when the JBL Partybox 720 is plugged in, this speaker gets almost as loud as the Sony ULT Tower 10, but still, even when it's running off of its internal battery, its bass is a lot more violent than the bass found on the Tower 10. Overall, with the JBL, your sound is more violent, but with the Sony, you do get a better quality sound. Now, like I just mentioned, the 720 does have a built-in battery, so this speaker is a lot more portable and more versatile because the Sony can only be used while it's plugged in. Now, the 720 is using dual JBL 600 batteries, so if you want, you can actually mix and match batteries between the 720, 520, and Boombox 4, because all 3 of these speakers are using the same batteries. The only difference is the 720 is using 2 batteries, and keep in mind, these batteries are used in parallel, so both of these batteries do run out at the same time. Now, another big difference between the 720 and the Tower 10 are the ports. The 720 has dual XLR combo jacks, so you can more easily hook the speaker up to a mixer, which is good if you want to moonlight as a DJ, but you can still plug in your microphones for karaoke, or you can also plug in a guitar. The 720 also has a USB-C port, which you can use to charge your own devices, and the 720 also has an audio out jack, so you can always daisy chain the speaker up to any other speaker, regardless of size or brand, and get them to play in sync. Now, the Tower 10 doesn't have an audio jack, but something it does has is an optical port, so you can actually connect the speaker up to your TV and use it as a soundbar, which I feel is super useful. And unlike the 720, which has a USB-C port, this speaker does have a USB-A port, which I don't feel is as convenient. But overall, both of these speakers are very impressive, but these 2 speakers are very different. Now, the 720 is a lot more portable and a lot more versatile than the Tower 10 because the 720 does have that built-in battery, so you can use it anywhere. Also, the 720 is waterproof, so it's going to be a better choice if you want a speaker to use by the pool, and the 720 gets impressively loud when it's plugged in. But with the Sony, you are going to get a better quality sound thanks to the additional mid-range drivers and quad tweeters. But if you want to learn more, you can always watch the full video.